Why do you keep taking back or finding toxic partners? A question that might be incredibly frustrating for you right now. Hi guys, welcome back and thanks for joining me for another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Beanie and I'm a certified trauma-informed coach that specializes in narcissistic and domestic abuse. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back. So when I was in the thick of abuse and I was in and out of the relationship, this was a question that I asked myself daily and sometimes hourly. Why do I keep taking him back? Or why do I feel like I need him? At that point, I knew that I was an intelligent, logical woman who knew what was happening to her was wrong, and yet I continued to either take him back or even worse, I would seek him back. And the problem for many becomes not just in the relationship that you're currently in, but for some, this becomes a pattern in your future relationships as well. You seem to be attracted to maybe the toxic or the bad boy. If this is the case, it's a sure sign that you are not healed from your past traumas. So there are some really obvious reasons why I took the man that abused me back and why many others do the same. Things like physical abuse and threats and stalking and coercion and that kept me going back to keep myself safe. But today in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the many emotional and psychological factors and reasons why you continue to seek a toxic person or take a toxic person back. This is a person who does you harm, who does not have your best interest, and who ultimately is in it for themselves. So I want to be able to help you to save yourself from either your current situation or maybe even avoid the next. So for those of us who have been there and understand the power of a trauma bond, there's no judgment. So let's get into it. The first reason why you take somebody back or why you seek out toxic is that you are not taking ownership. You have to take ownership. This means you taking responsibility for your role in this toxic relationship. And I'm going to talk about this one first because this is one of the hardest things to accept, and it has everything to do with why you are where you are and why you continue to attract what you do. Yes, what is happening to you is likely awful and you do not deserve it. But the hard truth is that people treat us the way we allow them to treat us. And we either accept it, we teach them to do otherwise, or we say, nah, I'm out. So this is the time that you really need to be able to self-reflect. Why am I allowing this person to treat me this way? Why do I rely on others to validate me, soothe me, or make me feel like I am enough? These are really tough questions that likely are going to bring you back to your earliest childhood memories with your own caregivers, and where this person likely represents someone from your past. And maybe this was similar to a relationship that maybe was modeled for you as a child, or you're looking to maybe even have this person fill in some gaps for your own self-esteem and your own worthiness. This can be a really hard truth to accept, but until you do, you will continue to look to others to fill voids in yourself that ultimately you need to learn to fill yourself. You can fill these voids by ditching negative self-talk. You can learn how to validate yourself. You can learn some self-soothing techniques and really just learn how to show up for yourself. Okay, so number one, self-reflection and taking ownership. Number two is understanding the cycle of abuse. When we fully grasp the vicious cycle of highs and lows, we begin to understand why we are addicted to this dysfunction And addicted might sound dramatic, but it truly is an addiction. The same chemicals flow through your body when you are addicted to a substance as when you are addicted to this cycle. So I want to go over quickly the 4 stages of the cycle of abuse. And there's a lot more to this, but I'm going to run through it quickly. Number 1 is tension builds. You can feel it. The chemicals in your body begin to change, and you can feel the storm is brewing. The second is the incident happens. So this is some type of physical, emotional, verbal, sexual abuse where you feel dominated or controlled. And then comes reconciliation, or at least attempted reconciliation. This is where, he now attempts to apologize, make excuses, gaslights, or even minimizes the situation. And then finally is the calm. And this is where things seem peaceful, maybe even better than they were before, but the cycle is about to start all over again with tension. And as difficult as it is to accept or believe, you are likely have become addicted to this. The incredible highs paired with the incredible lows, where cortisol, dopamine, the very few breadcrumbs that you end up getting end up being what you hold on to and what you remember most. Okay, so we've got taking ownership, we've got understanding the cycle of abuse, and the next reason why you continue to take back or find toxic in relationships is that you are unhealed. And you can be unhealed from a lot of different things for a lot of different reasons. It can stem from one incident, it can stem from a lifetime of incidences. And it has a lot to do with your early childhood programming and how you were raised. And maybe you don't know what healthy looks like in a relationship or feels like in a relationship. And you were maybe possibly programmed to see and feel love in a very dysfunctional way. And so for you, that feels normal. And so that programming may have led you to kind of foster some really low self-esteem in yourself, to accept less than you deserve, and for you to ignore red flags that likely have been waving themselves in front of you. All of these characteristics cause you to look to others for validation, or for you to not have the ability to maybe self-soothe or talk yourself down from the ledge, so to speak. The unworthiness that you feel from these unresolved traumas you've experienced look like you choosing partners or accepting behaviors in partners that are absolutely unacceptable. And ultimately, none of this will resolve itself until all of these issues are addressed. This goes back to being able to self-reflect and being able to take ownership of your healing and your shortcomings when it comes to how you feel about yourself and what you believe you are worthy of. See, when we look to someone else to feel like you are enough, your ego is always going to tell you that you want this person to change for you, that you want this person to fill your cup or to profess their love to you. But it doesn't work like that. You have to learn to be enough on your own. You have to learn to fill your own cup, and you have to learn to love yourself enough. And when or if they don't see that you are enough for them or that you bring enough value to the relationship, it doesn't mean that you don't do those things, that you don't bring value. It just means that they can't see it. And that's not a you problem, that's a them problem. So when you begin to get a grasp of, taking ownership, of owning your own shit, when you begin to educate yourself about the cycle of abuse, or when you begin to purposefully heal all your own wounds and traumas, Then and only then will you begin to see that you are not even attracted to the bullshit that you were in the past. The toxicity that is shown in your partner will be an immediate turnoff, and you won't want to pursue it. You won't want to pursue what they have to offer because you know that you can fulfill yourself in all the ways that you need to. You will see that you don't need your partner to fill in your gaps because you already know how to do that yourself. But instead, your partner is going to add to what you already bring to the table. Okay guys, I hope you found this helpful, and thanks again for joining me for another video. If you're interested in getting some help with the healing of some unresolved wounds, I'll link my wellness survey here for you to get in on my one-on-one coaching when the next spot becomes available. And remember, I'm rooting for you.